has earned the chastisement. Jesus said there would be wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, famine, pestilence. And this is just the beginning of sorrows. And the book said, had not that time been shortened for his elect's sake, no soul would be left alive on the earth. Now you and I and we have entered a time of trouble. Like there never was since there was a time and a nation. You can read about our actions in the scriptures. For the prophets said that we would be just like we are. And if we don't make a change, we will suffer a terrible, terrible chastisement from God. So America has entered that time of trouble. It says in that time Michael, the archangel, would rise to stand for his people. I was sitting one day with the messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I reported something to him at the table with some of his laborers. And he knocked on some glass, and he wanted them to listen to what God had shown me in an out-of-the-body experience of the Pope of Rome. And when I finished, he said to me, brother, God has shown you the mind of his and my worst enemy. And then he asked, brother, did you know that you were an angel? I said, no, sir, dear apostle. Well, what is an angel? It's a messenger. Especially a messenger of God. The Bible tells us to be careful how we entertain strangers. For we may be entertaining angels unaware. So angels are human beings like yourself. Well, I never paid it much attention. You know, he says things, you listen and you're frightened by what he says, and you run from it until you run into it. America has earned destruction. We have 135 countries where America has soldiers. Out of 192 countries on the earth, America has soldiers in 135. She has bases in most of these countries. Did you know that America has gone throughout the world threatening nations with a pullback of military assistance and other forms of aid unless they signed a document saying that they will never bring an American citizen before the International Criminal Court? Almost 90 nations have signed that document. Why would America not want people to bring her citizens before an international criminal court? Because everywhere where America has bases, her soldiers and her personnel have been injurious to the people who have and are hosting them. The Japanese want American bases out of Okinawa, out of Japan. There was just a meeting in Quito, Ecuador, I think. And in Quito, 1,000 activists met to talk about seeing countries get rid of American bases. One of them in that country. America has bases surrounding Iran and Russia. They had on television the other day an Iraqi citizen that helped pull down the statue of Saddam Hussein said he regrets it now. He said, because the devil we knew is better than the devil we did not know. So he wishes that Saddam was back, because the country is worse now than it ever was. There's an article that came to me a few days ago about the lies that presidents have told to get America into war. There was a discussion on TV about impeachment of Bush. And the fact that he lied to the American people, saying that Saddam had weapons of mass destruction and there were none, they felt was cause enough to impeach him. But this U.S. Senator was saying, no, lying and deceiving the Congress is not an impeachable offense. And he was standing on that. They don't have enough to impeach the president if they're going to talk about lying and deceiving the Congress and blah, 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 because all the presidents have done it. So I said, well, my God. You mean you can lie and force war, rape the treasuries, cause over 3,000 young lives to be lost and over 20,000 wounded? And that's not a high crime? My God. Then what is the offense that you can impeach the president for? Bill Clinton had a little oral sex in the Oval Office and then said, I did not have sex with that woman, under oath. High crime. He did it in the Oval Office. High crime. Semen on the girl's dress. Saved. High crime. But 3,300 young soldiers dead on the basis of a lie. Thousands more with their legs blown off, their arms blown off, their faces distorted and destroyed. But that's not a high crime.